Hello, my name is Shudley, and welcome back for another episode of Victoria 3 as Merina Kingdom. In previous episode, we're building up our economy a decent bit, let's just say. We have started serving the Skyscraper site, as well as we managed to get to the top 10 for a brief moment there, but then a few things happened, and now, since France is having a revolution, we're not in the top 10 because the fascist France is actually still a larger economy than we are. Although the difference... Oh, right, Brazil is also a bigger one. Right, Brazil is 131. So we need to get quite a bit of extra production. We've got a lot of glassworks underway in various locations. And I suppose what I could even do is... we've got one over here. Oh, we've got 5 underway over here. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Alright then. Well, I'm sure that's going to give us a pretty decent amount of money overall. Oh, yeah, there is a lot of glassworks underway. Okay, I have a feeling that that will increase the GDP quite drastically once those are completed. And I suppose also one... Oh, glassworks over here. Oh, yeah, we do have a little bit extra workers in here, so we can actually hire more people at the lead mines. Finally. Oh, the lead price isn't all that massive, to be fair. We're still making about 30,000 per week profit, even though we are on low taxes. And, well, I suppose it's mostly because we're leeching on the investment pool right now, let's be honest. Eventually we do need to raise the taxes again, but right now we can just enjoy the lower taxes. And since we're not doing a lot of construction ourselves either, that's helping. I suppose another thing that I could do, let's have a look at the taxation capacity. So Amhara, Somaliland, and Madagascar. Well, Southern Madagascar. So I'm going to build another government administration building over here. It's going to cost us a little bit to build that, but that's going to give us the bureaucracy that we need to not make quite as much a deficit in here. How's the turmoil still? Do we still have turmoil in... Okay, Yemen does have turmoil. Gondar, Somaliland, and Zanzibar. So how much do we have in here? That's 35% there. Oh, 33%? 33%. So that has been going up a bit. I suppose it might be partially because of the French war, so reducing the shipment or shipping access. Oh, and we've got unproductive trade route with the Confederates. Oh, there we go now, 121 million GDP. Well, we got a lot of the glassworks, to be fair, so that's probably increasing our income very, very drastically. Let's have a look. So, opium, automotives are very high demand. Silk is also pretty high in demand. Glass. I don't suppose there's a way for me to import some silk from somewhere, is there? I mean, there is. Oh, the Austro-Hungarian market would be able to provide a lot. It wouldn't necessarily be all that great price, or the profit wouldn't necessarily be all that great, but there's a large number of it. So I'm going to do that one. I know it does cost a little bit of bureaucracy for us, but that's fine. Now, prestige is well over 1,000 by now. I mean, is there leading goods producer? Number 3 producer for tea and sugar, okay. It's pretty decent. And 3 more weeks and we'll get the monitors. Our fleet will be even more, well, let's just say a bit better again. We'll build a few more naval bases in here. We'll go for 10 total there, so we'll have up to 50 in Sundry. Eventually we'll probably get to 60, but right now 50 will probably do. Just to increase the, well, demand for the ironclads first of all, and ammunition, but also just to improve the prestige that we get from our navy. We get 164 power production from the navy and almost 300 from the army. I do actually wonder about France though. Let's actually go over here because it's not going to be lagging quite as bit. So if we have a look at their prestige, can we see their prestige actually? We can just about see it over here. Yeah, they're getting a lot more from the navy and army. Oh, and they get some from us as well. Okay. Or their subjects in general, which, to be fair, they probably don't have that many. They got a puppet in Tripolitania and me. Oh, right. I suppose they do have Burma, Need, and Zagu. Oh, over there. Okay. Oh, now there's... Okay. Uprising in Congo. So, Lunda uprising. Khoisan uprising. And Svana uprising. Okay, the French might be in a bit of a problem. Let's have a look. Would they be willing to... No, I can't demand... Oh, right. There's this diplomatic place. I suppose if I just declare neutrality on all of them... Then if we go in here, we could ask for independence. They would not cede that, to be fair. But if I do that, I could maybe... Oh... Could I ask someone like Germany to support me? Maybe. There's no guarantee, though. I suppose if I were to... Well, we've already got really good relations with them. Austria-Hungary, we don't have quite as good relations, so we'll start improving a little bit there. Britain, we could improve relations. I mean, getting independent of France would be quite nice, although our market would probably crash. Both for us and the French. Let's go ahead and switch the ships to start using the monitors now, so that does require a little bit more ironclads, as well as a bit more ammunition, so it's going to cost us a bit of extra, but at the same time that should improve the capabilities of our fleet quite nicely, so I'm not too worried about that one. But with this many... Oh, Orange is having a revolution there as well. With this many revolutions in France, I think we have a pretty decent chance of maybe getting out of there at some point. If nothing else, we could probably do a bit of conquering over here afterwards. Oh, there we go, universal suffrage. And we're going to support even more interest now. Okay. Oh, we're going to have up to 7. Fair enough. Actually, one of the things that I could do is... I'm going to declare interest in Indochina, and then I can start buying stuff like opium and silk from there. Opium, establish import route. Afghans... Well, Afghan market is pretty good profitability there, so I suppose we'll do that one first. Of course, that does improve the French situation during their wars, I guess, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, they've got so many wars going. How strong is the... Oh, France is no longer having the civil war. Just close that one. Still one... Oh, right, so it's because the French are in diplomatic place. That's fair enough. And they got a war against Sind. Or Sindhi uprising. Oh, right, okay. They got so many diplomatic places. I mean, they've got a lot of troops, to be fair, to be active, and the enemies are fairly weak overall. So I don't think they might not be a way for us to get our independence, at least not peacefully, because they'll probably be stuck in wars pretty much for the rest of the game. Ah, there we go, now we're back in top 10. We're almost beating Brazil with our GDP. After that, we got at least a little bit of security of not dropping outside the top 10 anymore. That does mean that the French market must be probably the biggest market in the world. If we have a look at the worldwide, so the French market is already over 500 million. The British market is a bit larger, to be fair. If we add in British Russia, they probably do beat us still. But, well, I've got such a massive amount of construction going on that I suspect that my GDP will be skyrocketing still for a while. GDP per capita is now number... Oh, well, in top 20 worldwide. It's not massive, perhaps, but I suppose our population is relatively small compared to a lot of the others. So that does help. And now we're paying only £10,000 per week for interest. And we've got a pretty good balance there, even with the low taxes. That's actually quite nice. Now we're getting a lot of chemical plants. What else are we building right now? More glassworks. That's actually an easy way to see how much we're building in it, all the things. So, 2 food industries, 2 textile mills, 3 furniture manufactory, 3 glassworks, 1 tooling workshop, 2 chemical, 1 paper. Oh, right, let's actually put the water tube boilers in here. It's going to reduce the workforce in use a little bit. That's probably fine. How's the glass price right now? It's not too bad, so we could probably... Well, the service price isn't all that great, to be fair, so that would drop even further. I suppose we'd get more taxes from the services that way. We'll just put the... Actually, we'd probably go for the covered markets by now. The steel price would go up, glass price would go up, wood price would drop a lot. Even more services, and even more clerks. I suppose that's fine, and our literary rate is now 57.7%, so that's actually coming along fairly nicely. Again, it's still, well, I suppose we've got another 12 years before the end of the game. I don't think we'll be quite reaching the 70%, although maybe we will. We didn't get the state religion stuff passed, though, which is a bit of a problem. The amount of radicals have started going down again, so that's good. And the loyalists are going up. But if we were to try passing this one, I mean... Oh, actually, I just realized something. We could try passing some of the taxation laws. They don't have a high chance of passing, though, so maybe not. Because we could try going for... Well, actually, no, I don't think these... You know, these would radicalize a lot of people. So, not those. Oh, the hospital. We could go for the public health insurance. Industrial would not enjoy that, but it's not going to radicalize anyone. That would reduce the devout's political strength even further and increase the max health system investments. I'll give it a try. Even though it probably will fail. Oh, and we just lost a lot of authority. So how many... We've got a lot of these various decrees. I mean, suppose one thing that I could do is I could just start reducing some of these taxes. Let's double check so that there is actually tax for fine art for 20,000. But the liquor tax, I'm going to remove that one. It's going to increase the liquor consumption probably. Which, honestly, is not really that bad. Right, there's Skyscraper survey. That's still waiting for a little while. But then we'll get a lot of bureaucracy back, and after that we could probably improve some of the institutions that we have. We can't improve the health system quite yet. Home affairs would be one of the options. Law enforcement would be another one. Or we could try passing some of the laws that add in an extra one. And now we're making £93,000 per week. I mean, admittedly the interest rate is less than 10,000. I mean, it's less than 5,500 actually per week. So, okay, opium is in high demand. Oh, right. Let's have a look at the import routes now that we actually got the interest in... Wait, do we still have the interest? We do, in Indochina. Alright then, well, that's not really... Oh, silk. Right, so we have a look at the highlight. Okay, so that's no longer profitable. So I guess we are getting enough silk. I mean, suppose it might have been just the market access being a bit of problematic in there. So the French are still doing a lot of their fighting, as one might expect. How strong is Egypt? And we've got pretty good relations with them, so we can't really declare war. They've got over 200 battalions. And what is the quality of their troops? Line infantry with shrapnel artillery. So we've got a tiny bit better, but not nearly enough. Not enough to at least beat them in sort of frontal combat, as it were. It looks like the GDP is slowly dropping there again. Or stagnating, at least. We're less than 10 million away from Brazil, at least, so we are slowly making things even better. That is, of course, easier said than done. So, if we can pass the public health, I'm not holding my breath for that, because that would be bad for my health. Oh, farming boom. Oh. Oromia. Wait, Oromia does have a lot of farming, doesn't it? Yes, it does have all sorts of things in there. Okay, standard. I'm just going to get the extra production there. Well, there's still a lot of unemployed in there. How's the infrastructure? It is actually a little bit overburdened. Well, it is already getting another railway. It just got another railway there. Okay, well, that solves one issue. So I do admit the private sector does do relatively smart sort of decisions from time to time, at least. But at the same time, I'm not entirely sure if I want to be solely relying on the private sector to do a lot of the construction. I mean, otherwise, you know, the investment pool is just going to pile up in there and not be used for anything. Well, it will be used, but very slowly. Right, so what was it that we just got? It was the pan-nationalism, wasn't it? Yeah, so we got a bit more authority. So in theory, we could add in, well, not a new tax necessarily. We could add in another decree, though. Also, how is Zanzibar looking in terms of agriculture? It cannot have any more agriculture right now. So there's that. It's got fishing already in there, and the fishing seems to be doing fairly well. I mean, it's got a bit of industry at least. And standard of living there is 15.2. Oh, 15.6 total across the nation. Okay, so that's actually getting better and better. I mean, we are building so much more factories right now that it's kind of expected to get better. How's the market looking now? So opium and oil are very high in demand. Well, that's not surprising necessarily. Let's have a look at the import route. So there's not really a lot of good options. And the opium? Not really good options there either. Looks like we do have a bit of a lack of sulfur as well. Oh, converted market. Okay. Sure, we'll buy a little bit from there. Now we're making 123,000 per week profit. I mean, to be fair, that's a lot thanks to the construction that we're making. Or rather, investment pool that we're utilizing. Let's actually have a look. So there's still insufficient taxation in Somaliland, Oromia, and Amhara. So Amhara, you're going to get yet another government administration. And then Somaliland, you could probably get an... Do we not even have any extra in here? No, we don't have administration centers there. Oh, government administration. Okay, we'll get one in there at least. And the Skyscraper survey is going to be done very shortly. It's like maybe a month or two, and then we'll be done. And that way we can start building the skyscraper. It's going to be a bit expensive. Or it's going to take a while to be built, but that's alright. So it looks like France won probably all of the revolutions that happened in here. At least most of them. I'm guessing Portugal is still... Yeah, they're still in defensive back with Austria. So that's kind of blocked for us. There we go, survey completed. North Madagascar, lay the foundations. So now we should be able to start building the skyscraper here. 1,000 construction total. Yeah, that's going to take a while. Well, 50 weeks. So it's almost a year to build that. But once that's done, that's going to increase the amount of government administration that we can do over here a lot further. I suppose we could get another 2 in here. Now that we've got the bureaucracy, we could maybe start increasing some of the institutions. Alright, let's get the Home Affairs to a bit higher level. So a little bit less radicals and a bit more loyalist. I think we can still turn this around such a way. Oh, insufficient healthcare support. 15% less bureaucracy. And still 20% chance of getting -10. Or 80% chance of nothing happening. Or push it through anyway. And we are bound to... Okay, we'll get the bureaucracy problems there. For the time being. Well, it's still not going to be passed. Okay, so I suppose no better healthcare laws. Is there anything else that we could try? I mean, I suppose we could try, just for the heck of it, passing the proportional taxation. Probably won't pass. I'll give it a try regardless. That would allow us to get even more tax money. Oh, now we've got 16.0 standard of living. Okay, so standard of living is improving very rapidly now. The GDP is dropping a little bit. Oh, now in number 11 again. Is there someone else having a revolution? Oh, Italy has overtaken us. Not by much, mind you, but a little bit. Okay, so Italy... Oh, they're part of the Austro-Hungarian market. Alright then. We've actually got a better average standard of living than they do. We've got slightly less population as well. Okay, well... That's an interesting happenstance there. The government is still contested. How long until the next election? Because we did change the election law. It's got to be 1927. We've still got quite a bit of ways to go. At least in the meanwhile, the radical numbers are dropping very quickly now. And that's good. I mean, I suppose the standard of living is going up fairly rapidly as well. Like, Oromia is getting pretty good. How are we doing in Madagascar for standard of living? So we've got 19 in southern Madagascar, 18 in northern Madagascar. We've got 15.5 in Somaliland, almost 17 at Oromia, 16 at Amhara, 13 in Gondar. So Gondar isn't quite as good yet. And Yemen's got 16 as well. Eritrea's got almost 20. Oh my goodness. Right, let's have a look at the... So we've got one institution upgrading. Do we have... No, it's... Oh wow, yeah, it's quite a bit per level at this stage. Okay, so we're not going to be getting any more institution upgrades right now then, I suppose. Still doing quite a bit of construction. Oh, now we already got gold reserves of 2 million. And it's going up further and further. I wonder how much money could we save by lowering the tax even further. I mean, it says that we'd be losing 4,000 per week, but I don't think that's actually the case. We could put that in there, so now we're not getting as much money, but the legitimacy should be, well, it's a little bit better. And the amount of loyalists we should be getting is probably going to be better, as well as the radicals. Oh, and I suppose one of the things affecting the standard of living is the lack of taxation that we're now having. Well, I wouldn't say lack of taxation, but the reduced taxation. I suppose we've got a lot of authorities. Let's have a look at the decrees that we could do. Is there more manufacturing industries that we could maybe assign? I suppose Zanzibar could be another manufacturing. I mean, let's have a look. How much industries do we have in there? Decent bit. It's not massive, mind you, but a decent bit. There's a decent bit of agriculture as well, but I suppose the industry is probably going to be a better option. We'll encourage that there. There we go. That should increase the GDP totals. Now we're back at 125 million. I think we need to get to quite a bit higher. I mean, Italy is like 127. Yeah, 127 now. So we don't need to get that much higher GDP to get back to the top 10. And the literacy rate is now 58.7. So we are getting closer and closer to the 70% that I was hoping to reach by the end of this playthrough. Whether we'll actually reach that or not is a different question, of course. But at the same time, since we've got so many universities, especially in Zanzibar, that means that the innovation cap is going to be constantly met with the innovation. So that, of course, does mean that we'll be able to do the techs a bit faster. And hopefully we'll get the, well, we'll get the rotor revive engine, and then we can get the electrical generation, which means that we can do a lot more wood production, for example. And then after that, maybe the threshing machine. But, like, I suspect that... How much do we actually have, So over here we can see... Oh, that's the... Right, never mind, that's the taxation and all that. Not the... Actually, we can see it from the outliner options over here. So we've got quite a bit available for labor in everywhere else. Okay, Madagascar doesn't have that much, and Somaliland doesn't have that much, but Oromia and Hamara does have a lot of people available for labor. Yemen doesn't have a lot. Zanzibar and Gondar do have quite a bit as well, so we could be building up a lot of industries in those. I suppose I could utilize a little bit of my own cash to do some of the construction work as well, so... Radius, well, we don't have that option yet. Sulfur, I don't have any way to mine that. Fine art, I suppose, is one of the things that I could do. Let's just get another one in here. It might not be a lot of profitability from that, but, you know, it's somewhat well-paying jobs. So that means the standard of living is going to increase. So the turmoil should maybe start dropping a little bit. It's down to 25% in here. So that's actually not too bad, I dare say. Oh, is there a problem with the infrastructure in here? Yes, there's a tiny problem with infrastructure in here. Let's just get another port. They're also building a railway there already. Temporary embarrassment. I could probably sway them with a tax cut. Income tax rate minus 10% means that we probably don't get a lot of taxes, but we'll get a 10% chance of passing the law. Actually, how much is the law going to be better right now? So if we have a look at the proportional taxation, revenue from current tax law, £171,000 per week. That is actually not too shabby at all. In the meanwhile, the standard of living is just skyrocketing there. Even the lower strata has an average of 14.4 at this stage, which is honestly not bad. I mean, sure enough, they're still impoverished, but, you know, it's not too bad overall. I do actually wonder, can you have a look at the... So the population... So lower strata is 28 million, the middle strata is 3 million, and upper strata is about 1 million. So, fair enough, I suppose. So lower strata is still the vast majority of them, of course. I mean, that's probably going to be the case in most nations. Unless you have, like, a very, very industrialized nation, then you might have a bit more middle strata and all that, but still, it's going to be probably mostly focused down that way. Right, so there's actually not that much demand for steel, so is there actually... Doesn't have enough funds to hire. Well, the iron price isn't too bad, the coal price isn't too bad, the tool price isn't too bad, so I suppose there's just not enough demand for steel. Causing a bit of issues there. Right, how many weeks until the skyscraper? That should be done in 15 weeks, okay. So just after the Arts Academy. We'll get the port done before that. So now we've still got over 30 million in investment pool. I'm pretty sure we won't be able to empty that. I mean, we could maybe increase the amount of construction that we do just a little bit further. Get one of these. And we don't have construction sectors in Yemen, so we'll get one in there. Right, a little bit extra. That should be giving us a decent bit of extra construction overall. Actually, let's have a look. How much is that? Oh, right, it's showing the total numbers. Right, it's going to be 10 construction, I guess. Total. In recognition of accomplishment. Industrialists could get a little bit more power, I suppose. Sure, industrialists will get the credit. I really wish that we could pass that, or we'll be passing that tax law soon. That would be quite useful. Extra money, we can still keep the low taxation going as well. Oh, and standard living now is 17.1. I do actually want... Well, I suppose there's not that many decrees that we're going to... I mean, the luxury clothes tax is actually pretty high. Here's the thing. If we were to try to push some more decrees, the problem is that we've got a decree in every state by now. So one of the things that I could do is remove the agriculture and put the industry over here instead. Because we've got quite a bit of industry, 18 steel mills at that, okay. And a lot of chemical plants, munitions, furniture, paper and food as well. Because the agriculture production overall is still pretty darn good for us, so we could probably do the same in Gondar. Because I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of industry in there as well. But there's a lot of agriculture as well. I suppose the... Oh, right, and the incorporation is almost completed in here. So then that's going to be almost 6 million new taxpayers. So I'm guessing this... Oh, all discovered into book 2. Oh, okay. I believe that is within... I don't actually know if that is within our market. But regardless, that will be quite handy. Then we are about to start on the electrical generation. How is the coal price in our market right now? It's a little bit elevated, but it's really not that bad. So, in that case, I get well, furniture manufacturer. If I turn this one on, that's going to reduce the laborers a lot. Tuning workshop could probably get that as well. It might not be increasing the profit right now, but here's the thing, that's going to free up so much workforce that can then be used in other factories, and we are probably going to increase the construction speed even further. Oh, right, rotary valve engine motor industries. I forgot to do that before. In arms industry, we can get the rotary valve engine. Munitions plant can get that as well. That's about it. I mean, we could put in some steam donkeys in these, but I don't think that's necessary. So yeah, that's going to free up a lot of pops there. And I suppose at this stage, what we're going to start doing is we're just going to start building a bit more construction sectors. How much can they hire? They hire a total of 5,000 each, so we could maybe get one more in Yemen. Then in Gondar, we already got 5, but we could definitely get a few more. I'm just going to get another 5 in there, actually. We're going to start spending a bit more money on getting the... Oh, and yeah, we'll get another one in Somaliland. That one's already 15, that's probably good enough. We've got 10 in Amhara. Zanzibar, how many do you have? We've got a total of 3, so I'm going to get another 2. That's going to cost a lot of money, but we've got some gold reserves right now. I don't think we'll be taking too much debt. I mean, a little bit. Oh, no, more mass migration into northern Madagascar. Excellent. Looks like the innovation is already almost 140. Which is definitely not bad, and we are getting the literacy rate closer and closer to 60%, which to be fair is still, well, I guess we got about 10 years time remaining. We're trying to get to the, oh yeah, the Skyscraper is almost done. That's going to increase the amount of bureaucracy we can produce, which to be fair could be used to incorporate stuff like, actually, let's have a look at the Skyscraper in here. I know that I could have, or I think I could have increased the stuff in here. If we go for the Trade Nexus... Oh, actually, no. We'll keep it as Bureaucratic Nexus right now. A bit of paper, but that increases the government administration building throughput in this state a lot more. I believe it is just this state. But regardless, they'll be getting a lot of extra in there, so we should be getting a lot of bureaucracy, which we could probably use to incorporate Zanzibar. I mean, it's 500 bureaucracy. We could probably afford that. If need be, we can just, you know, build a few extra... government administration buildings in here. Watching the sky. Construction of the Tananari Skyscraper in North Madagascar is complete. Dominating the skyline, it inspires all who gaze upon it. We get 25 prestige for 5 years. It's not bad. Oh, there we go. The radical numbers are down to 4.3 million. And the loyalists are almost 4 million as well. So we are very, very close to the point where they flip. And are we going to get the taxation? Yes, we got the taxation law passed. Now, I don't know how much of an increase it's actually going to be in the tax income right now with the bureaucracy stuff being as what it is. But I suspect that we should be getting at least a little bit. Maybe? Oh, yes, there we go. 61,000 extra. Or we're making 61,000 profit. Right, well, that's pretty decent. And with that, we are going to have to call the episode here. So if you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe if you haven't already. Also, check out the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.